Hello, this is Rocky Patel of PrankLifestyle.com, and today I want to talk about sales copywriting, which basically means the words you use to explain your products and services. And copywriting could be a product description. Like when you go to Amazon.com, they give you a certain amount of characters to use, and you have to be able to sell and explain your product, in a concise way. And there's a big difference between like specifications, like a product spec, like, hey, this MP3 player has a 40-hour battery life, and it's got a 2 gig memory, and it's got blah blah blah, it's got a black case, and yada yada yada. That's called specs, and that's what's called a fact. But to sell, you have to sell with benefits. So what, like, say for like on this product, like the 40-hour battery life, that's a specification, but what's the benefit of that? Well, this product has a 40-hour battery life, which allows you to be able to go travel almost anywhere in the world with one charge, right? Or you can listen to 1,000 songs before having to charge, right? So it's like you take the benefit and you take the fact and you make it a benefit. Like there's a saying that facts smell and stories tell, where like you use stories, people can relate to stories. And typically when you want to bond with people, you tell them your story. It's like, hey, the whole reason I got into this was because blah, 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 and I had this long journey and all these pitfalls and blah, 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 but now I'm the champion, I'm a billionaire now, and yada, yada, yada. So you're telling a story, where you came from, so people can relate, and then you tell them, you show them the outcome. But like sales copywriting is the ability to take a product and sell it in a way that's engaging. And I'm sure that we've seen, you've all seen these websites where it's got all the specs. It's 2 inches by 4 inches and 1 inch, a half inch thick and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh yeah, well, what does that mean? Versus, hey, it's got it easily fits in your pocket. It's feather light and it easily fits in your pocket. Easily fits in your shirt pocket, instead of just the specs. I mean, you can have the specs or the facts, but you want to turn them into benefit to explain what it does. It's like, somebody who's buying a Ferrari, like he could be like, yeah, it's got a 9-point-liter engine and this many cubic inches, and it's got this special exhaust, and it's got like a CD player and blah blah blah. Or it could be like, get this Ferrari and get hot chicks, right? That's why they're buying the car, not to like hear about the engine and all this stuff. They want it because they're gonna look good and feel good when they're wrapped around that steering wheel, and they got the I mean, obviously, like Ferrari's like, could attract women, versus like some guy in a Pinto, like an old Ford Pinto, like rolling around, he might not necessarily, be attracting the ladies, but maybe if he got some game, he could still, I mean, you don't need a Ferrari to, have game, but like, a Ferrari would help. If you already got game, you'll have even more game if you had a Ferrari. But it just makes people feel better and younger. That's why typically in the age range of 35 to 42, which is an age range where people are trying to live their like high school years or their late teen years, they're trying to relive that again, so they get a red car, or they get the sports car, or they get the convertible. It's because they want to feel younger again. So they're not like wanting the facts. They want to buy it because they want to feel young again, feel good. So that would be the benefit. So in your sales copy, you want to be boring and putting people to sleep. You have to state the benefits. I mean, you can state a fact and then a benefit, and you tie it together. It's like, like this Ferrari. This Ferrari is fast, and it'll help you feel young, right? Instead of, hey, this car's got this blah 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 and turbo and a special exhaust and yada yada yada. You just basically explain the benefits of it. And there's many places to learn copywriting. And there's a lot of books you can read about it, or you can just hire me to do it for you, or hire a professional copywriter to do it for you. But once you have really good sales copy, it becomes your salesman, your silent salesman that's working for you 24/7. And just because you do some good copywriting doesn't mean it's going to sell. I mean, you still have to test it and see, if people are buying from it. But the sales copywriting is very, very important. And once you have it down good, you just leave it out there, and it just keeps selling for you over and over and over again, versus you having to explain it to them. Like I used to do a lot of phone sessions with people, like free sessions where I was running Facebook ads, and I would get them to book a free session, and I would get on the phone with them, and I would be sitting there explaining about energy healing and crystals and oil and pranic healing, a little bit about me, and then I realized, I was like, wow, I'm spending 10 or 15 minutes saying the same thing over and over again to people. Like, it's a waste of my time. I was like, I can make a video that explains all this stuff for me. And I scripted out the video. I had some coaching with it where I made the script first, the sales copy, and then I just read it and made a video from it, and then let people watch that first before they talk to me. So basically, I was like duplicating myself and leveraging my time, where it's automated, where it's just doing the same thing over and over again, but it's not me doing it. So it's the same thing for your product descriptions or whatever your product offering is. You have to give all the benefits and any additional bonuses that you have to offer, and it's in the structured way. Back in the day, it was done through sales letters, like a physical letter that people would get in the mail. And I'm sure, I don't know how old you are, but we would get things in the mail, and it could be like 4 or 5 page sales letter, sometimes 40, 50 pages that you read through it and then you buy, right? So the salesperson isn't having to explain it over and over again. They just produced a sales letter and then sent it out and see how many people bought. And if nobody bought, then they just change what they're saying. They optimize the sales copy. So that's very important, is having good sales copy. All right, talk to you in the next video.